And it's Thursday the 24th, and we're off and running. Textron gaps up, really above all things. TX, no silence, I mean. And TXT, Textron. ST Microelectronics gapping up to that 1533 level. That's up at resistance. Teradyne, Lam Research. Let's let the market settle in just a bit here. And there's Southwest Airlines gapping up there. TXT, got to get over 53 and a half basically. Xilinx, got to 98 and a quarter. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, gonna have to restart live trader alerts. And we're just now 2 minutes into the markets. Uh, oh dear. Okay, come on there. Move out of the way. I'm having trouble with Ninja Trader. It crapped out on me. I'm trying to actually get. There we go, finally. Task Manager. Don't you hate it when stuff like this starts your day? All right, let's look and see what 151. Big time spread. Well, yeah. Spready and whippy in Lamb Research. Looks like 153.5 is established itself as a high there. Okay, I'm long some February 8th 150 calls. You're welcome. In Lamb Research. And what did I get filled at? Well, it says 6 1/4, but I'm not sure about that. Okay, still trying to scramble here. All right, if this could get going higher, I'd love that. Key level to the upside is 154. Key level to the downside is about 150. Okay, let's back off here. There's a 5-minute chart on the S&P. And let's back off on that one on the 15. There's a 15-minute chart on the SPY. VIX B is rising a bit. Okay, we had our This is a continuation pattern for me. Right here we have a long wide range bar followed by a doji. Get over 154, it should start moving, and the stop should now be around 152, 152 half. Need to get through 154. Let's see, we could look at the others here. Xilinx, that probably was the purchase there over 100. It popped up. ST Microelectronics, it popped. Teradyne. With the markets weak here, it's not helping me in my trade at all. TXT, nope. URI, nope. American Airlines, nope. Sterling Bancorp, forget it. Love is pulling back, not seeing a whole lot of love there. Hexel. Wibis. Texas Instruments. I'm watching Lam Research off on the side. We're just kind of hanging in there. I would like to see the markets kind of stabilize here. Would help me. Let's see what the Qs are doing. The Qs are actually up 44 cents while the Spider's down 73. That's probably with some of the gaps there. Let's look at XLK. Lam. We spiked up to 154.88. Research is going. Whoops. I typed that in incorrectly. I'm actually long LRCX 15 fab 150 calls. Average price was, I had one at 610 and one 6 1/4. Yeah. Okay, so 35, 17 and a half. Okay, I'm gonna sell one at $9 here. I still have one left. Um, Primarily because it's a $155 stock, and I'll leverage more. Yes, it is wide spreads. That's to be expected. Um, I basically put it in the middle, Val. Once this trade's over, I'll talk to you about what we what I do and try to get filled. You know, a 60-40 split, giving the option maker the middle, this higher percentage. Okay, we're now up to about 940. And it's kind of hard for me to tell where this puppy's gonna go, but 158 and a half to maybe 160.61 if I look at Lamb Research here. Whoops. I'm looking for possibly there or possibly there. Whoops. Somewhere in that ballpark. 158 and a half to 161. All right. So it's kind of an intraday swing. Yeah, there is a, like you said, there's a $1 difference there. But if I wanted to sell at 10, I could get filled right in the middle. Basically, split the difference, and you usually get filled. There's 157.29. I'm thinking that this is going to start to run out of steam here pretty soon. 960 by 1090. All right, I killed it at 10.50. $10.50 on the last. just don't, with that widespread, I don't want it to crap out really fast. We're coming up on 950. We got enough. Okay. Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly why I took what I took and when I took it. Now it's already coming back a little bit. Um, you gotta sell. You gotta sell options into strength, and they talk about selling into strength and buying into weakness. It's harder to buy into weakness, but you need to. A lot of times you need to anticipate, but in fact, the way I do it is, if I get something like Lamb Research that's going, I go ahead and split it in the middle. What's the best way to show that? Okay, let's see now. Okay, let me figure out how to best do that. All right, what we got right in here is the 15 February 150 calls. We got in here based upon price. Price action breakout over 153 and a half, and let me show you that. So basically, I did this. Let's do edit. Make that. Okay, hold on. Let's create a parallel line. This is pretty much what I was doing. I was having to eyeball it on the fly, the actual, whoops, that's a little bit too bright. Okay. All right, and so the idea was when it went over there, grabbed the options. Initially, 150 was the stop, and then gradually after I took, let's create a parallel line, and we basically took it here. I used whatever the options were doing there, and took what $9 and then 10.50. So based on where the stock was, I don't really know. And what I was doing is I was looking at the daily and looking that it was approaching 158 and a half, and I figured I'm going to take my half out of the middle. Okay, well that's the general overall plan. Okay, now as far as your comment about the things being too spready or too whippy, you can see the spread is now, it's come down quite a bit. We're almost 30 minutes into the market, and it's still a 40-cent spread or so. The spreads for expensive stocks, 40 to 50 cents is not unusual, especially if you're on an earnings day. A dollar spread, and that was a bit much. So what I would do is I would look at 1070. Let's just say it's 1070 by 1170. That's a dollar. I'd flip it for 50 cents, add 1120, and then give them about 2 ticks in. So 1130, and start at 1130, and bid that. If they don't get her, you could start at the 50% level and then inch your way up after a few seconds. Because the price bounces up and down, you might actually get a 50-50 fill. depends on what is on the other side. If somebody is trying to sell one, maybe they had contracts they held overnight. Maybe somebody thinks that it's going to crap out right now, so they're gonna sell. So it's a lot of the options makers will be delta neutral, meaning that they will make their money on the commissions and the spread. They will, let's just say that they had somebody that wanted to pay 11.50 or so, and you're willing to pay 10.80 or something like that, and they'll make the difference there, and that is how they make their money, basically by filling both sides, and they, hey diddle diddle, I'll take the middle. So what I do now, when you're talking about options that are over, say, $10, maybe even $8 or $9, you're going to start seeing spreads. Well, it's okay.
Dad.
Okay. What?
She split the fuck open.
No, she's been split open. We're going to the doctor tonight.
Okay, I was making sure.
Okay. Okay.
You didn't want me to say anything?
No, not if you didn't know it. But
All I'm saying,
I'm just,
I know,
I
that's
just,
less important than our dog.
I understand, but just give me 1 second. I'll go mute.
I know.
And that's all I
I'm
put up.
sorry.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
said dad and you stared straight.
Yeah, but I was trying to find the mute button.
How do I know?
I know you don't. All right, have a good day.
She's gonna stick her tongue in that.
What?
She's gonna stick her
No,
tongue.
she's gonna come in with me. Hey,
That's good.
Lilo, Lilo,
Come here.
come here, baby.
Come here, baby.
Come on. Come on.
She's bleeding everywhere. You see that?
Yes, she's been bleeding for a while.
Okay. Love you,
Okay,
bye.
sit down. Hey, have a good day. Come on. Okay, hold on. There you go, baby. Lie down. Okay, just lay down. Lay down. Okay, sorry about that. We have a. My son came in and he got surprised. My dog has had an operation, and had a hip operation. We took off a knob that was formed. Well, the bottom line is, she split up her stitches and she's basically cut wide open. I'm taking her back to the vets this afternoon to have them restitch her and whatever. But he freaked out when he saw blood and guts hanging out. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, you look at here. This is a dollar spread still on these February. Well, we're talking 150s. It's a little over a dollar spread. So you basically put it in the middle, and then inch your way up, and it really. It really goes quite well here in Think or Swim, because let's say, I'm going to confirm and send, and you would go here and edit, and then you would basically march it up. There's the middle, and you would go to confirm and send, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete it. All right. Okay. So that's where we're sitting at in the options. All right. Did that help, Val? I do apologize for the interruption. Probably sold a bit early. But I'd rather be on the early side than the late side, because I probably left $1 or so on the table. But still looking pretty good. All right, we'll figure out what we did here in just a little bit. All right, let's go back on to the markets and see what else is going on. have Facebook out here somewhere. Okay, what's Faceplant doing here? Okay, it's trying to recover. I don't like the daily. Let's see. Personal. ADI is running analog devices. Too late for us to get into there. Beacon. Beacon over 35. Box is still worth watching. CBS is still worth watching. CMCSA that gapped up yesterday at earnings is giving it all back and then some. EPD, nope. EQT, no. EQT's short. Too late now. EWW. FireEye over this 17 and a quarter level, potentially. Don't know when the earnings are. I'm just running through my stocks to watch. Glue got all the way to 975. Coles, we're going to watch out. It's going to have LABUs. What's LABD doing? Nah. MCHP, worth watching. Most of these are on the, in fact, all of these are off of the daily chart. Marvell, also a good one, right here at about 17 and a half. It could run maybe to $19. With Lam Research doing so well, LRC and Xilinx both, that's boosting the and Teradyne. All of them are in the semiconductor area, and we're seeing the SMH run a little bit here. Match.com is still going higher. Wish I had held on to some of that. Northern Trust crapped out after yesterday's good results on earnings. PanW, okay. Procter & Gamble got up to 96 and a half and just basically fell apart. Watch Square over 73 again. And Synchrony Financial. Watch that over 30 SYF. Okay. Turn the fan off. I was starting to get cold here. Treehouse Foods. Treehouse Foods doing a J-hook. It is in the middle of the gap. The top of the gap is $65, and so might want to keep an eye on for the J-hook. gotta let it, and it needs a bullish pattern. Right now, it's just it looked like it was trying to hold at 58 yesterday, and it's kind of crapping out a little bit. United Health is pulling back, got close to the 271 and a half. United Technologies over 119 and win. I'll keep an eye on those for you guys. And right, okay. Now let's look at some of these that are popping up. Seagate Technology, nope, don't really like that. STT. STT could be going back to 76. It reported earnings the other day, I believe, and did a big pop up. And it could be going back up here to the 76. Good balance of power. Move. Nice move. Semiconductors. I got some more. Okay. CCI. And that's a Crown Castle. I don't feel it on that one. It's just RJ Financial. What's their little bitty kind of a mini J hook in the middle of a rounded bottom breakout? Over this 82, it probably goes maybe to 86. NCR. Oh, Tempur-Pedic. Nah, it's still too high. AVGO. All right, hold on. AVGO. Breakout all-time highs, I think. Maybe. Let's look at the area chart. Not quite. No, not even. It's got room to about the 270 to 280 level. You see what I've got right here? For those who have TC2000, I use a weekly chart and on an area chart, and I change my moving averages to 10, all simples, 10, 20, and 40. That basically match the 50, 100, and 200. It basically helps me judge the longer term trend. Well, and it also gets me know where I'm, get a one over the world view very quickly by just hitting the tab. If anybody wants help on how to set up TC2000 with tabs and so you do one click or whatever, just let me know. We can probably set something up like that. Lamb Research hit that 159.86 here within a penny. I had it 158 and a half at the 161. And I sold just when we got 158 and a half. Okay. FLIR, F-L-I-R. WPC, William P. Carey, Bristol Myers. Bristol Myers has kind of come back up from that gap down. This is one of those we talked about yesterday of a gap and snap. And here we go. Bristol Myers down to here, 48.50. 48.50 was basically this level over in here. Probably support off of that if you look at it on a, yeah. The bottom's over here, the top's over here, the bottom's over there, and buyers stepped up. If you're not okay, microchips and RBB, it probably is. Um, yeah. The current price. Well, I call them RBB wannabes, Bob, because technically right now there's not 10% between current price and the 200, but that's just a mere technicality. When it actually broke up above the 50, there was, and it's in that general pattern. So I call them RBB wannabes because if somebody wants to pick nits with me and stuff like that, they can. I can always have it out. But yeah, I like the pattern. The only problem I've got with microchip there right now, well, 15% of the float was short. I don't think it is anymore. But one of the problems I've got here is this congestion area here, right in there. And it was okay for the first 3 days in the box, but now we've gotten all that. It'd be somewhat bothersome. All right, we've got a little bit of a rally going on here. Yep. Coming up on the highs of the day and in the spiders. Okay. We're at 10:12. Boy, it just seems like just a minute ago we were just talking about our Lamb Research trade. Apple's pulling way back. Apple is coming up on its earnings. Remember, it warned a while back, but its earnings are on the 29th after the close. So next week. Let's look at gold. Gold's still off. GLD. An aggressive trader could probably nibble some gold here. I'm thinking more if it's an options trade and to take some longer dated options. Let's see. I'm talking about January 20 or 21. And we're looking at wow. Let's see what price. 120. You may have to, if for January 21s, you may have to go out. If you do the January 20s, you could probably get away with. Oh, wrong one. That's why it didn't make sense. Duh. Let's look here. Um, 119 to 120. Looking at the price. I'd probably pick the $117 strike price. The primarily because it has 1,100 in open interest. Now it's 1335 by 1495. So that's $1.60. I would add 80 to 1330, and that would be about 1410 to 15. So what I'm going to do, $1,400. Okay, I'm going to let it sit there at 14 for a little bit. And see if it will, see if it'll fill me. Okay, I raised it to 1405 and got filled. Oh, no, no, it's still working, it says. So, you're welcome, Bob. I'll just let that sit there. We'll see if we get filled. Well, Lamb Research. 161 is possible. Okay. We talked about Moo and the fact that it's broken the downtrend. I guess someone could nibble here. I think what I would do is I would wait on an intraday pullback, because if we look at it, we're really extended, and I'd look to see if we get a pullback maybe around 36 bucks or so, 36.25. You could always do a starter position with partial position, so we'll have to see. Okay. All right, coming up on the bottom of the hour, 10:20. No sign of pulling back there, markets are going uppity up, and the VIX is going down, diddy down, down. Look at the Qs. The Qs are the strongest, and you could probably expect that because of the strength in the semiconductors. The Dow is basically flat. The S&P now up 5, and Russell up 7, about 0.5%. So in the middle. Okay. And Micron hit 37. Looks like it wants to try to pull back there. All right, let's see if we have any better luck with our Ninja Trader this time. Teradyne is still rocking and rolling. I missed this one while we were fiddle farting around, and the conference call is ongoing right now, and I think they probably like what they're hearing. Let's look at TR on the daily. Well, problem right now is Teradyne's right up near that $37 area where I would call it major resistance. That's where Teradyne sits at the moment, price-wise, and that's what I see as possible resistance, 36.50 to 37. Nah. Let's look. Go. Shutterfly. Okay, didn't see that one. Slipped by me. Now, you like round the bottom breakouts. Shutterfly is okay, and it probably goes to 50. Yeah. Shutterfly. Doing kind of a little round the bottom breakout here, and I'm seeing this $50 level really is possible resistance. It would be a swing on that. Oh, 5 minute. Probably a little extended here. 15 minute. We got a little bit of a boost. I don't know why, but probably a breakout above 40, 45 and a quarter or so. Yeah. To 45.25 to 45.30. Let's look at Shutterfly here. Yeah, and you see how It kind of stabilized here at 25 and then it moved up. Makes sense. All those semis out there and Textron gapped up and just stayed there. Excel. URI's probably, no, I was going to say you're going to head back up to the highs of the day, but maybe not. American Air gap and snap back a little bit. Texas Instruments hit 100. Oh, Love. Okay. Notice how Love gapped up here and pulled back and then retested the high of the day. This is why one of my strategies, not always, but one of my strategies is to wait for the pullback, wait for the bullish reversal, go long here with say 53 and a quarter with a stop, say at 52.75 or so. It's 40 to 50 cents risk. And looking for a retest of 53.80 from 53 and a quarter. So you're talking 50 to 60. It's like a 1-to-1, but you're hoping it maybe will break out. Again, hope is not a plan, but even if you could get up here and you took half off the table, let's say you had 200 shares or 400 shares and you take half off the table, you've got to get all the way to that plus or minus quite a bit. So you're playing with house money if you get anywhere close to the swing. If you only got halfway up to the swing and took profit, you're playing with house money. And anytime you can play with house money, that's a good thing. Okay, JetBlue. So we had some airlines reportings. American Airlines, Love, JetBlue. Union Pacific reported. Again, one of those came back up here, pulled back, and looks like it's retesting kind of the high of the day. And too expensive for me though. What XCP? Oh, Canadian Pacific. American Air's not recovering really. East West. I haven't looked at Bank South. Okay, I'm probably not going to either. Because it's only traded 45,000 shares already. Whoop-de-doo. Varian Medical. That's a bit of a gap up in the slop. Trustmark. Nope. And there's that Bristol Myers that actually gapped down. You can see that on the 15-minute. Coming up on the conference call at 10:30 local, so right about now, and you can see maybe it'll recover, maybe it'll turn right back down to the south. Las Vegas Sands gap down and try to recover. See, the one thing you need to do is have. I think you have to have the 5-minute because we're a short-term trader, but you also need to look at the bigger picture, like a 15 or 30 or an hourly chart, because it puts it in context. So this is actually a pretty decent recovery, but not necessarily one. We've got overhead resistance around 57 and a quarter. FFIV gap down. Oh well. Sucks to me. Citrix gap down from 108 to 101. And McCormick gap and kind of pull up a little bit. Alright, so they're not I don't see a whole lot of shorts there, which is probably a good thing. Let's look at where Baidu's going. Baidu has a 167 over there that's kind of untested, so watch this curl back up. If you're a Baidu fan, you could potentially nibble on some Baidu here with options, thinking that maybe it goes up a little bit there. Okay. Mm, okay, I just responded to Rick. Okay, let's start to look at some of the stocks that I have over here. I have had Moo on my list, and it's still going higher. Oh, not Apple. I was looking for Square. Square hasn't hit 73 yet. Win hadn't hit 116 yet. Let's mark that up. LEBU, nope, match. Data's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. AEM daily chart, if you get over about 40. If you're an aggressive trader, you could potentially go long now, but it's kind of in consolidation. Mint Nugget. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that option order for gold, GLD. Because what I'm seeing here is a little toppy action here. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be more patient. I think prices might go lower. All right, oil at 11. All right, I need to take a little bit of a break before we get into our oil trade. I will be back in Moscosh. Okay, I'm still transmitting. Now am I transmitting not? Nope. I am still transmitting. I have lost control of the microphone. Okay. All right. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. Right. And research almost hit that 162.50 spike on the daily. Wow. Right there. Came within 32 cents on a $160 stock. That's close.
Well, we've got a little bit of a break in the action, so I could get microphone control back. I am. I'm going to restart my room here, but that means you'll lose the projection for just a little bit, and I'll be right back. All right, test 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me out there? I think we're doing good this time. All right, we're back up and running. Alrighty then. Funny how we got to 163.5 on the Qs and started pulling back. That was basically where we got to yesterday. Within a few pennies. These swing levels work big time. Our job is to recognize them before instead of afterwards. Good morning, Steve Reiser. May I help you?
Hi, Steve. It's Dr. Marvel calling about Buddy.
Yes, what's up?
Hey, so I got his lab work back, and everything looked great on there. His blood work looked completely normal. His heart rate test was negative. We just need a stool sample within 30 days.
Oh,
I also figured out the degenerative myelopathy test. So the way that the test works is it is a DNA test, so they need 5 to 10 mils of blood, which we didn't get enough yesterday, so we'll have to redo that. But it's got to be overnighted to the lab, like in a
yep, yep.
container. And they don't want you to overnight it on Fridays because
They're not working the weekends.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would say to do is maybe sometime next week
Schedule something.
technician appointment.
Yep.
Get a lot of blood from him. We'll send that off. I'll put instructions in. There's a form that I need to fill out, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of the test is like $221
Mm-hmm.
with the shipping, but we need to know if that's what we're up against.
Yep. I figured it was. I figured the 200 plus was 250 was what I was. That's what I had banked on. I'm not. I've been to this rodeo before.
I know. You're the stringers, boxers, and all their weirdness.
Oh,
I will let the girls know so when you come in tonight, maybe they can set up that appointment for you next week.
yes, good. Yeah, Lilo is split wide open. Her stitches are all gone. It scared the bejesus out of my son when he saw it.
Okay.
Okay, so
You've got an appointment tonight with her.
yes. The only thing I'm thinking of is it would it be best if she stayed a few days with you guys?
That wouldn't be a bad thing, and maybe talk to Dr. Penna about that tonight before
Okay.
you're in,
Okay.
and see if she thinks that would help.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where it went wrong, what pulled apart, whether it's just the skin or if it's everything or what.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we'll see you tonight.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye. All right, we're getting close to oil. Okay, we're looking at the report out now, and we just smacked lower. Let's put this on a. Oh, go away. Where the hell are you? Two-minute chart. I thought I had that gone. Alright, first thrust was lower. We're going to wait for 2 minutes. A 52.60 was hit. I'm showing below 52 and a half would be a swing level, maybe even 52.40. There's the reaction off to 52.57, basically the bottom of the 5-minute opening range. It's 52.50 down to 52 and a quarter, or 52.90 and above. Okay, we're 2 minutes in. We're short. Took forever to fill. Got a bad fill. I gave it a signal at 70. It got filled at 65. No, 68. Well, I had a long tail here, 52.60. That 52 and a half is really proven to be a little bit of a stubborn one. I'll be looking for somewhere around 52.30 to 35. I was looking to get 52.70 to 35 for 35 cents. But didn't look like that. That did happen. I had to give half. I had to give about 2 cents. All right. On the 2 minute, we're trying to go lower. And you can see this 52 half. If it breaks that, we can go lower, but we still have got this level right here around 52.55 or so that we got to battle with. Coming towards the lows of the last few minutes. Want to see a break of 52 and a half. There's 52.55. Let's see if it bounces on there. Actually, we could probably have taken that, you know. Probably should have covered right there at 52.50. 5. Did I get greedy? Didn't read the charts very well. Okay, I reversed. I'm long from 52.86. There's 53. Let's now look at the 15-minute chart since we don't know what we got there. Okay. And this 53.10 to 53.20. Alright, I exited with an overall net 100 plus 100. Okay. I bought. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Okay, let's look at CL. 52.68. Alright, I cheated death. I should have sold when it got down to the 52.55 support level. I should have gone long over about 52.90, which is kind of where I did it, and just 53.20 or so was probably the sell point to take a couple $100 off the table each way. So I cheated death. I made some mistakes, but it didn't kill me today. All right, folks. I have an appointment with Rick here in just a couple of minutes, and I will be back this afternoon to talk with you guys, and we can walk through some things at about 1:45. How's that? 1:45 this afternoon. All right, you guys take care.